Hoop earrings are iconic, symbolic, and historic. The first gold hoop earrings were worn by Sumerian women more than 4,500 years ago. Fast forward to today, and the history of the jewelry lives on. In our Sunday morning spotlight, Victor Acosta shares how a Milwaukee artist is making history and why hoop earrings are a central part of her art that connects the past with the present and beyond.
Lining the walls of the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee are pieces by some of the region's most talented artists.
To walk through the halls of the art of the Pfister Hotel is, well, it's very, very special.
Brianna Greer is the chef concierge of the Pfister Hotel, which is host to an artist residency program filled with rich tradition thanks to support from the Marcus Group and others.
We are celebrating 14 years of our artist in residence, and so we're very, very fortunate that every year we get to showcase a very, very talented artist from the Milwaukee area.
The artist selected gets to spend months inside a studio at the hotel to focus on their work.
I'm born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
That's where we find Nicole Acosta. Her first steps into the art world were cultivated at Milwaukee High School of the Arts.
That's kind of where I fell in love with photography and stuck with it since then.
In 2019, Acosta was working as a marketing director and part of a Milwaukee collective called Luna, or Latinas Unidas en las Artes, which means Latinas United in the Arts. It was then when the collective worked on a project around hoop earrings.
We're our collective made up of all Latinx artists. So hoop earrings are very symbolic and sacred to us. So I could take their portrait in their hoop earrings, and then we would eventually share our personal stories of what hoop earrings meant to us.
Her portraits became viral, and hoops, as the project became known, exploded in popularity.
That's kind of when I started traveling the country and visiting different cities to have hoop sessions.
Acosta has done sessions in Milwaukee, New York, Chicago, and Los Angeles, where she photographs people in their hoop earrings, and her subjects share stories of what hoop earrings mean to them.
Hoop earrings to me represent an essence of who I am, my culture, resilience, and to me overall, it makes me feel empowered.
We asked Acosta the same question.
This past year in particular, I think hoop earrings meant holding on to like memory and like holding space for other people to share kind of like what hoops meant to them, and kind of facilitating this space of joy and celebration and acknowledgement and reclamation.
Hoops evolved beyond just portraits, including a stage play that held its world premiere at the Milwaukee Chamber Theater, a work Acosta says was a labor of love, with emphasis on labor.
It was amazing, but also it took a lot, out of my life, and my life was pretty much dedicated to the play for almost an entire year.
Then, in March of this year, Acosta was named the new Pfister Artist in Residence, the first Latina to hold that position.
For me, it was a shock when I found out I got the residency. I couldn't believe it.
Acosta says being selected as a Pfister Artist in Residence is a personal and professional triumph, but one she believes can have an impact beyond just her.
I'm honored to kind of like open the path to maybe other young Latinas who are artists who still maybe to this day don't see themselves in artwork. Hopefully a younger Latinx artist can see that this is possible, that their art matters, and that there's representation of them in the artwork they're viewing and in the city that they live.
That representation is at the center of hoops.
For young Latinas or young Black girls or young Indigenous girls, like we all have ancestral roots. And those ancestors also adorn themselves in heavy jewelry and earrings, especially the hoops.
The connection of hoop history to the present is also personal for Acosta.
I was looking through photos, and my grandmother wore big hoops in all of her pictures. I do remember my quinceañera, which is when a Mexican girl turns 15 years old. There's actually a picture of me at my quinceañera, where my grandmother is gifting me a bigger pair of hoops.
Acosta will spend the next 6 months continuing to work on the Hoops project, turning it into a coffee table book and taking portraits of the public in her studio, among other things. Ultimately, she hopes as people see her work, look into the eyes of her portrait subjects, that they can gain a new perspective on the women that wear hoops and the power of a simple yet profound piece of jewelry.
These stories are really important to be seen and to be heard. And this project, kind of breaks down a lot of stereotypes of how women of color are perceived. These people are, human.